Hey everyone, Paper Cut here, back with another replay review. This time we have Komochi, who is a gold player. Plays a lot of different civs, actually bounces around by. I notice he plays Japanese the most, so we're going to watch his Japanese game here. Um, Komochi posted on the Reddit a while ago about how, just wanted someone to look at his stuff, give him some advice. He is a proud 29-year-old gamer, as a 30-year-old gamer myself. If you're aging, this game is still, you can still be good at this game. That's what they want to emphasize. Because I think a lot of people are like, oh, I'm past late 20s, I can't play anymore. Nope. I'm probably the best at this game 30 than I probably would have ever been earlier in life. It takes a different skill set. It's not just the speed, it's the decision making. It's the knowledge and thinking about the game that matter just as much, which is why I love playing AoE 4 so much. So he's playing against Zushi's Legacy. So what is the strategy? When we go on, we want to think about what is your strategy, what's the opponent probably going to do, and what's the map cause you to do. Now against Zushi Legacy, your best move is to pray. I'm joking. We can beat Zushi's Legacy, but something you have to consider when we're on Cliffside. Cliffside is a very small map, so it's really easy for him to get to your base, and so you should probably expect some sort of Zugnu rush. Would be what I expect, and what you should probably be prepped for and be scouting for. One way I've seen to beat that is mass man at arms, and pull him into your base, tower up, and make him keep attacking you. You keep running samurai in to kill the rams, and then kill him when he oversteps, and then try to get the castle and go from there. Get a Magnanel out, go from there. I'm interested what you try, and try to give you some tips about your loss and what you should try to do next time. So of course we always check openings first. Scouting, you should always dash to the center of the map as you're doing that. Oop, I would have dropped those 2 sheep off as you ran by, just because that increases the likelihood, but that allows you to be on the map longer. 3 sheep means you have to come back and drop off sheep, right? If you drop these 2 sheep, that buys you a bit extra time to uncover more of the map. Our goal is to uncover as much of the map as possible in one go. So you should go center and cut back around, and then go back around and end up at your opponent's base. Oh, okay, good. Your opening macro looks good. Okay. One thing you'll notice here is that your goal should be you're hitting 200 gold and 400 food at the same time, which maximizes your feudal timing, which against Zushi's is very, very important to get to feudal at a maximum best time. So in this case, you pulled off sheep pretty early to go to berries. I would have just stayed on sheep because you will get more food out of it, and I would have kept rallying to food until you hit that 400 and then pulled off all the extra and go to wood. Okay. So about small thing with the scouting pattern is that you notice how you missed the center part. I would go back over here your second round, come check this out, and then you're sitting by the opponent just when he hits feudal. You are going to be a little bit late though. I think it would have been better if when you first came through, you came down and up back through here, dropped off, came back down through here, and then ended up behind the base to see what is going on with him. Through storehouse. Okay, so first, let's think about the place in the storehouse. Knowing that Zushi is an aggressive civ, you want to put this as safe as possible. What is safe? Well, safe is behind your base where your TC is better able to protect it, and unsafe is in front of your base where your opponent can run up. Because look where your Cure storehouse is. Any farm that's on the outside here could be poked at, shot at by Zugnu, rushed by horsemen, yada yada. So I would have put it right here. Yes, you might have lost some wood, or you might have to delay a farm here and there, but it's safer to get there. He has to wrap around. You could wall up back here pretty easily to protect it. And then if you put a tower right here on your gold, you pretty much kind of cut off this backside. And if you're making him rotate all the way around, then that's good for you, because then you can cut off reinforcements later. But this is unsafe. I would put that farther back. So you have 4 on gold going up, so that's a lot of gold. It's in here. You put this house right here. I would put the house closer in, just so it's not easy for him to just like kill this house and you're out 10 food or 10 pop. I like that wall, though. I would have walled right here. Let's take a peek at the map here. If you're trying to slow him down, If you go outside, it allows him to still rotate in. Or if he just comes up here. So instead, I would have walled right here and right here. And then if you're able to kind of get this backside and wall back. Because if you can wall this backside, you have a lot of food back here. Like this is a... You're lucky. Look how much food you have back behind you, which is harder for him to get to. This wall... Like, look here. He can walk up right here. I mean, they go like, this wall doesn't do anything unless you wall him all the way over, which would take a lot of wood. He's dropped Meditation Gardens. He has 4 on gold. He might be going castle. I want you to notice what I'm doing. I'm trying to find the visual cues that tell me what he's doing. So if you're wrapping around, what are the visual cues you're looking for? So you need to check. You need to see his gold and his food and his wood situation. Because you need to see, is he dropping something? Like, scouting Zushis, just like any aggressive civ, is so important because you have to know what they're doing so you react correctly. Like, I don't know what your plan is. You might be... It looks like... I don't know yet. We'll see. But if your plan is like Fast Castle, which is kind of the thing for Japan right now, if he goes really into units, you got to get a few units out just in case. So I got to put this tower here. I'd value the gold a little bit more. In case you start rotating around. Boom. He is 5 on gold, a bunch on food. What else do we see? Oh, bend in a little bit more. And he put his Meditation Garden super safe. Yep. So what that tells you is he's rushing castle. And lo and behold, there he is going up to castle. Last thing I should have told you that he has no production, and he kept everything super safe. So at this point, he goes off gold. He doesn't even have like a... This is super quote-unquote naked Fast Castle. So you should have seen the amount of, especially on food, he needs to pump Shaolin Monk. So what do? You're going to lose relics. That's fine. You should try to prevent him from getting... keep him to like 3 relics. So you see this one back here. You see this one over here. What you could do is quickly send a villager over and wall off. You could drop a barracks and get a samurai out, but you don't even have a barracks up yet. And you have this relic back here. And the question is, what do you do against a super fast castle like this? Well, you have to remember he's putting all of his resources in doing this castle, and he doesn't really have much variety. He doesn't even have very much wood. So his goal is probably going to be to get out monks, and he's going to try to drop a stable to get out knights to harass you. So if I'm you, I try to 1, wall up as much as possible to delay him. 2, get down a barracks and start getting out spearmen for when you hit castle and he tries to push you with knights. And you are rushing castle. Like, you need to get to castle as soon as possible at this moment. If you had been making units from the start, if you had been aggressive in the Dark Age, you might have been like, okay, I'm just going to keep him in his base. But he did a really strong timing here. So this tells you if he goes fast castle, I have to defend and get to castle myself. Your goal right here, though, your scout, is to figure out what's he going for. Try to rotate your scout out a little bit more. I'm gonna see what are you looking at your perspective here. So you're really careful your macro here. You're getting close to castle. You drop your own stable. Interesting. I'm not a huge fan of going stable right after your opponent does because he's probably gonna beat you to that. But he hasn't dropped. Oh, he went. Okay. If I saw him drop that, then I'm actually with you then on the stable because that means you can get out knights and try to harass him. Something I suggest: the second you saw him, you saw the indications of castle. A lot on gold, a lot on food, no production. The second you saw him going hard, fast castle, I would have taken all your units off berries and put them on a high quality food source. So deer and boar, that would have got you food a lot faster. And also, you should get greedy on food now before he gets out units to push you off that food. Berries is slow. Berries is very slow. If I'm you, I'm rush up castle here. The key about rushing up castle, though, do not take your villagers off gold. Use your wood villagers. Okay, that's fine. But this is too slow. You're also putting it at the front of your base. You're lucky he hasn't been very aggressive. Like different player would have gotten out a knight or two, and this doesn't get up. I would have taken, 7 off wood and put it right here. Then you could have got the relic back here and try to get the relic over there. On top of that, you want to keep on food and gold because you need to get out knights the second you get up, and knights are very food and gold heavy. I like that you're rallying to gold on the age up, which is really smart. But remember, we're always macroing based on our gold we want to make. If we want to make knights, if we need a mass samurai, your mounted samurai, you need more on food and gold. Okay, here comes the Zugnu. That's great. You have the counter for it already. Once again, if he was a little bit faster, a little bit more aggressive, he gets to this. Okay. Since you didn't do anything about the relics, he now got the one over there. The last one is the one behind your base. And he's waiting on it, actually. But he got all the others. That's a lot of relics. Okay, so I'm back with him right now. Those dang monks, but here's the thing. Be a little bit more active with your scout. I would have liked if you had rotated back around to check, because then you would have seen he dropped 2 archery ranges. And he's already getting crossbows out. So he's anticipating you as well going knights. And he's already created your counter. So for this to be effective, you need to mass a lot of knights. You need a second stable. I don't know about this. You need a lot of Yumis. A lot of Yumis. And honestly, until he starts making mass spearmen, I think dropping a second stable and going mass knights is better. Because here's the thing. 1 knight beats a crossbow. 1 knight beats 2 crossbows. 1 knight beats 3 crossbows. And he's going horsemen. So if you just mass knights, you wipe this. Yumis are beaten by horsemen, and Zugnu will also do well against Yumis. So it's like investment versus reward in that you will get more out of your knights right now. And to get a lot out of your Yumis, you need to get a lot of them and upgrade them to veteran. Another beautiful thing about going knights is that you can make them instantly without having an upgrade. See, how nice would it have been if you could have made 2 knights instantly instead of 1 knight, 1 at a time. You have a lot of wood, so I would say drop a... You don't need to drop a barracks, right? You're in Japan. Drop more production. You should get on stone, yeah. You could go second TC on one of the sacred sites and get sacred sites. That's how you get extra gold. But like, what's going to be the move here? So he's got the relics. His economy is starting to move. What are you going to do in response to this? I would run your scout in again because you need to see what he's making. Be nice. Okay. So you're a good spot. Okay. So see what I mean? He built 5 crossbowmen, and he's dousing you. But if this had been 7 knights, you just run on his crossbows and they die. Or if you'd done a knight horseman mix, and your Yumis aren't doing that much because they're not upgraded and they're 4 damage a pop. So that's what I meant by like it wasn't really worth it. You're not getting much from it. And you're also not having... You need to make sure you're watching to get villagers on farms. But this initial unit comp is, I think, setting you up for failure here. I would drop... See, he just went back on it. I would drop a town center right here. And get it upgraded. Yeah, get the build it, get the stone, upgrade it again, secure that sacred site. And... You have wood behind you. Now good resources. What about this one over here? Yeah, there were the berries on this one. But, like, you need to now figure out how you're going to gain that economic advantage back. Because he has a huge economic advantage from the relics. You getting more town centers that are very defensive is your way of getting back in the game. And you also have a shit ton of wood. So, like, use the wood on something. But you need more production, for sure. Another stable... A switch into samurai would be really... A switch into Anabe Geisha would be really effective here. Like... Think about this. This game is all about reaction to reaction to reaction. So I do something that forces my opponent to react. How well do I react to that? You have forced him, and he has chosen to go into crossbows. He's not doing lancers, hardened spearmen. If you dropped 3 barracks right now and started massing on a vacation, got them to veteran, they run over this. And then when he has to go like mass Zugnu or like siege to battle that, then you can react to that. But right now he's getting a lot of food for free. He's just kind of sitting here, and his goal is just to wait. Having this many relics means that he just has to kind of hunker down, and he will eventually outproduce you. He has a better eco right now. Yeah, look how much he's getting more food than you, because he doesn't have to put his money on gold. He can stay off gold because he has 5 relics. Okay, like that. But he's gonna keep taking that. You need to get. Did you just drop a TC? Or did you upgrade your TC? I wouldn't upgrade the TC again. One, you're not really in danger, but as I said, you should realize at this point, he has a huge eco lead. How do I get that back? A second TC and more villagers is the way to do that. Because it feels like you want to be aggressive and attack, and I agree, and I feel that, but like, you need to set up a comp that's going to make you effective, which is, like a Magan will be great here. But look, you spent 650 stone on this upgrade, which could have been 350 to be over here and start making more villagers. And now, or even if you weren't felt safe at that, doing it back here. And now he's produced more units than you. And let me tell you, your Yumis aren't holding up. Because think about it this way as well. He sees you go Knight and Yumi. All he needs to do is just make more Knights. Now, he also made crossbows, he also made spearmen, so he made his counters. But he also could have just been mass Knights and walked over you, because Yumis would have done nothing to them. And your Yumis aren't really doing anything right now. Because, once again, they're a pretty weak unit. You never got them the veteran, and you never mass them. You need a bunch of Yumis for it to be worth it. I just don't think that was the right counter. I think Anaba Geisha is your power unit here. As like, mounted I would have done 2 stables mounted samurai to force him off these units, and then I would have put like 4 barracks in the back, and then like a sneaky switch to a mass Anaba Geisha, and then you just run all over the place. You could push him, but then you have a group coming on here. You have a group coming here, because what you have to know is he's being safe. You want to try to catch him when he gets off his initial resources. Like, he's about to have to go to the next food. And if you had, 3 Annas back here waiting, then that really slows his eco down. This is also another issue with putting your production so far forward. The first fight you lose, he's now negated your production completely. I also think about if you were gonna do this big badass upgrade to your TC, your production here makes it super safe because he can't weapon on this right now. Instead, all of your units are in danger. Base building is so important to future success in these sort of games, because a well-built base can help you survive multiple pushbacks. A poorly built base makes it hard for you to come back, because now you have to put down the wood to make more production in the back. That could have been protected if it was behind your super tanky TC. Now you're going mass horseman. Catch him when he's not paying attention, but he's gonna slaughter this. Yeah, it's just too many units. Here's the thing. I get the thought process here, but let's talk about defending. A key tenet of defending is you don't push, you don't walk onto the opponent until you're absolutely sure you can win. You did not have the units to beat that, so you wait. You need to mass up, and you need to cut off his reinforcements. He's reinforcing to the front, so if he's just going to rotate around your base, fine, let him. You have this super strong TC that's going to just keep firebombing him when he walks in. You kill these first and keep massing behind it, and when you get more units, then you walk out onto him. I also don't like doing the mass garrison. Only garrison units are in danger, because right now you have a bunch of wood villagers who are no longer getting wood. I would have said the gold villagers, but this is when you need to do like quick adaptive fixes. So you're off that gold, you want to go to this back gold, you want to go to this back food. Like, you need to do something to get more resources while he's pushing your main base. These are just gonna die. Your mass could have killed this, and once you killed this and you're still massing, you could have turned on and killed that, and then you'd be ahead. because him splitting his forces is actually really dumb. It could have caused him to lose if you could play this a little bit differently. You know he's back here. He's just sitting here. Okay. And here, once again, this is why if you had put the TC over here instead of double upgrading this one, you're in a better spot, because one, he can't walk on this sacred site. Two, you would have this gold protected, and you could have started putting farms around this one. And your eco's still going and catching up, because you're on 45 villages right now, and he's on 55 plus relic. So really, he's on like 65, 70 villagers. I appreciate you don't give up. I appreciate you don't give up. You're still trying. But you gotta realize the Yumis aren't doing what you want them to do. Spearmen on Megatia Knights. Because you're Japan. You are the infantry civ. Samurai and spearmen do great here. Samurai, spearmen, like just a mix of all of your infantry actually do great here. Because they can take out the knights. You can have your Anas rush forward and take out their archers. But you're not playing into your civ's strengths. Like, fast castle is a strength of your civ. Not that samurai are good, but then once it gets into this like mano-a-mano, go into your power units, your Onabagashas, your samurai are really good against this as well, because they can take that initial hit. And right now you're just not able to do anything, and you're still pushing out, right? You keep trying to push back out onto them. Do not push until you have a mass that could fight them. Okay, you're in a pretty bad spot here. To come back will require you to raid him like crazy, because now you need to hurt his eco. And until you do that, you're going to be in a bad spot. Don't go to the front gold, go to the back gold. See, look, he's setting up his farms right now. Your best bet and come back in this game is you run two. You know he's got to put farms up in the back of his base. You run two samurai, not the samurai to the back here, and you start attacking his villagers, and you just keep running in and out, in and out. Because once these are up, it's game over. Look at his income per minute. Which is why, once again, you need a second town center would be huge for you. And it's so easy for you to get a second town center because you get stone for mining gold. So you can just naturally kind of get to it without really trying. The only way your Yumis would be effective here is if you target fired them. Like, you literally are going to need to have your Yumis target fire his crossbowmen, because and Zugnu, because they're going to do nothing against palace guards and knights. Desperately need a raid right now. He's just booming. I think it's game over. I mean, I know it's game over, but yeah. Okay. All right, so let's talk about what we could have done differently. You did a good job. Your opening was clean. You scouted him well. I would have moved your scout around a little bit more. But once you get castle, that's where your decision making started to get off a little bit. So you need to ask yourself, what is my most effective comp for what he's going? And what allows me to get my power spike up quickly enough? So you scout, he's already making horsemen and ranged. Well, okay, I'm going to mass samurai, mounted samurai. Oh, he starts going mass spearmen. Okay, well, I'm going to try to get a Mangonel, or I just start massing my own infantry, which are better than his, and I try to outmass him. He has relics. What do I do? How can I catch up? I need another TC. So it's like seeing the problems in front of you and then making the decision that will help you get back in. You stuck to your decisions too much. You were like, I'm going Yumi, and I'm sticking with it. And it wasn't working because it wasn't countering anything. And he switched his units up to counter yours, and you never followed suit. Second, you use your civ's abilities. So your units on a Begatia are super fast. You get them in mass, they can surround his units and kill him. The bannermen are huge for the ability to like power spike your army. TCs on sacred sites and upgrading them are really great in castle. and trying to negate your opponent's strategy. So he wants to go fast cast and get relics. You can't stop him from getting all of them, but you could have towered up one or two of them to stop him from getting all of them, and then get them yourself when you age up. So that's some of my suggestions. I hope you find that helpful. I hope this video was helpful and my commentary analysis of it was helpful. If you have any questions or feedback, please let me know. And if you're ever interested in coaching, please message me. My Discord is in the description. And with that, good luck on your games.